gas station was. See y'all getting ready to do something about it.
Ask your questions.
What Douglas wanted to do? Be a Satan and judging sin.
And speak your mind.
Good evening to you, Patches, and good evening to your listeners home and abroad. One good term deserves another. And like I said, one good term deserves another.
Tune in every Monday and Thursday night from 8 until 10 p.m. right here on ZIZ Radio with your host, Ian Patches Liburd, for Straight Talk. Let me tell you something. Every Monday and Thursday night from 8 until 10 p.m. on ZIZ Radio, Power 96.1. Tune in for...
that I will achieve, because I do the things I should, between my brethren kind and good. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow.
My Straight Talk family, that's time for me to wish you a very pleasant night wherever you are in St. Kitts and Nevis and or throughout the entire Caribbean region. To my Straight Talk family in the Kittitian and Nevision diaspora, I say greetings to all who are logged on to zizonline.com. Saying good night to my producer Bevin. Is early and up and about. And to those in Africa, there are some of you who are in Europe. There's some of you who are in Asia. And I know there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I can say good morning or I can say good afternoon. And a special good morning to folks over there in London, in the United Kingdom, and all over the United Kingdom, as a matter of fact. And for those of you who are also tuned in, or because we do simulcast as well via Sugar City FM St. Kitts, if you are on that medium, we say greetings to you. Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let's, in the process, continue to keep St. Kitts and Nevis as one of the freest countries in the entire world. On this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation, my Straight Talk family, on yet another occasion. And if you're joining me for the first time, just to inform you as well that on this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. And if you are a first timer, I trust and hope it won't be your last time And I want to also inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls, we include your emails, and for those of you who are so minded to call, the numbers are 465-2555. That's one number. There are 3 lines. And of course, there is an overseas line, a US line, I should say, 718-577-2916. And for those of you who like the cloak of anonymity, then we provide you access via our email platform. That is ZIZSTRAIGHTT. That's straighttalk@gmail.com. And my Straight Talk family, I want to correct an oversight right away because from my last program, and I want to wish Dumpling, or I should say Lydia Dumpling Manners, a belated happy birthday, which she celebrated on the Independence Day, the 19th of September. Imagine, Dumpling born on Independence Day. And we trust that, Dumpling, we trust that you had a wonderful birthday. We had a wonderful day, and we wish Dumpling many, many more birthdays. And by special request, someone asked me to dedicate this to Lydia Dumpling Manners. Dumpling, this is for you.
This is Dumpling. Patches, nobody gonna put no big lock on this mouth if I come on and talk. Because I know where I went through with labor. And some of them walking and calling up my name to all kind of people. But how I am radio abusing, and you hear me abusing, you know? I don't know why they want me to be on the radio. I don't talk. My mouth is mine. If you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're right, I say you're right. But something is going on. Something is going on. And they ain't going to stop me, you know? They wouldn't stop this Dumpling here. You understand? Because we went a long way. And everybody was sweet and dandy. You remember how Crab used to sing about, it's a Macarena. Well, it's so. Let me put that in the magazine now. This is Dumpling, Patches. Ha ha ha! See you.
Okay, that's Dumpling. And again, happy belated birthday greetings, my dear Dumpling. Born on Independence Day, born on September the 19th, I should say. And we wish you all the best and many, many more birthdays. Tonight, I want to as well continue our reflection. I want to continue our reflection as part of our national dialogue, in that from time to time as host, I have been forced to remind some people that this is a program with a host who is a straight-talking individual. An host that is not afraid to share an opinion or a point of view on a subject. Also to facilitate the sharing of opinions of callers and or emailers to the program. As I strongly believe that callers, emailers, and the listeners, by whichever medium, are the ones who make Straight Talk. I've said that time and time again. But there have been moments, I have been told, when the views expressed on this program have made others upset and or uncomfortable. And for that, I do humbly apologize. As your host, I have tried to promote dialogue on all issues of national interest. And this forum, I will confess, has over the years become a popular tool for political transformation. And when I say dialogue, by that I mean have always tried to facilitate a stream of ideas flowing among, through, and between us, irrespective of our political allegiance. I have done so with the expectation that out of this national dialogue, New understanding and positive change will emerge. But there are some of us in the 21st century, as Kititians and Nivisions, we do not wish to entertain such dialogue for some reason. As I said on this program before, some of us subscribe to the old adage, or the old Irish adage, I should say, to it, whatever you say, say nothing. And that's cool for some of us. Because many of us have developed an attitude that if we say something, this would help to avoid conflict at all levels within society. So we continue to bury our heads in the sand and practice denial to avoid responsibility and or promote a kind of silo mentality in order to maintain an artificial appearance or false perception of normality or a state of normalcy. As a result, we exist side by side, yet some of us do not, and or pretend we do not understand each other, while we continue to personally destroy one another. As I said before, there have been moments when the views expressed on this program have upset and or made others uncomfortable. And I'm sorry. So no need to send messages though. Cut them off. Cut them off. Why should I cut them off? I would always ask. Is it because these callers are willing to take on all comers with no holds barred in a good political exchange or divergent or opposite views? But when this is facilitated, some get offended and conveniently misquote the callers and or emailers. They do so in order to wrongly blame the host and or suppress free speech in St. Kitts Nevis, one of the freest countries in the world. For example, this caller, some claim, threatened a particular lawyer. And this caller was accused of threatening a particular lawyer. Caller, you live.
Good night. This message is not for you. This is for the lawyer lady. I want the lawyer woman to know. Me from Jamaica. And me feel, yeah? And nobody can put out a power. Because we will carry the whole world for you. To hell and back, we're going for you. So tell her she must stop cross the borderline. Because she switched by you and I don't like it. And we got your back. If you listen to this message tonight, Miss Lawyer Lady, you cannot outrun Patches Liburd. Don't believe that you can outrun the boss, because the boss is the boss. Him look for the poor, and him look for me, and me got him back to the door spot. So you could have come and sit down, you're not going to get the vote, you're not going to win it. Tell them patience is a virtue of life. Timothy cannot take out his heart and give to everybody. We all have to wait for our fair share. Timothy is one man, you is one man, and all we got to wait. They must be grateful and stop being ungrateful. Patches, good night.
Was that a threat, my Straight Talk family? There are some callers who clearly express their views on Straight Talk as they try to hold all of us accountable as representatives. And they should. They should hold us accountable as representatives, like this caller who did just that, my Straight Talk family.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
This is Mrs. Harris calling in from Central. 2 weeks now, he got a pipe bus over there by the college to the alley. I contact Public Works up to now. I mean to pass him back and forth, then doing nothing about the pipe. And with the houses them over there for you know where you got over there, the blue houses them where you got over there. Up to now, election done, the people them want to go in the house. And the next one again now with Central now, Jepito. He had a meeting with one-on-one meeting. I contact him, WhatsApp him, and he phone. He reading the text and he not say nothing. With the beach island thing now, I contact him and ask. I tell him congrats on top of the thing when he was sanitizing the school. Up to now, he ain't even say thank you, miss, or nothing. In his manifesto, you got him in hand right now, yes or so. He manifesto say he gonna help with the 500 package, pay bills. With the one I wanna ask him about it, I text him about it. Up to now he not answer nobody. Election done. We give you work to do. Or you can pay us. Everybody calling out and telling you the same thing over and over. Election done. If all you can do the thing for the people, them just say all you can do it. Don't want the people coming back and forth and back and forth. That ain't nice.
And when you listen to the content of those callers or these callers, you ask yourself, what have they said or done wrong? Why do we want straight talk to stifle dialogue and or to suppress the views of the people? As I said, as representatives, we are all accountable to the people. My Straight Talk family, on this the 37th year of our independence, I wish to make it pellucidly clear, crystal clear, and to state with an abundance of respect that every person who participates in this program will be afforded the fundamental rights and freedoms that are enshrined in the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis. For the sake of clarification, I refer to everyone's rights and freedoms irrespective of race, place of origin, birth, political opinions, colors, creed, or sex, but of course, subject to respect for the rights and freedoms of others in the best public interest. My family, I can assure you as well that your fundamental right and freedom to even criticize this host is also guaranteed, like this caller can testify, my Straight Talk family.
Mr. Liburd, good night.
Good night, sir.
How are you?
I am peaceful.
Now, I got an issue. I understand that the unity government is talking about opening the borders. My thing is, what is the economic plan? Because Dougie had a plan. Unity ain't got a plan. Opening the borders ain't mean nothing. It can't translate to no economics. No boat can come. What are you doing? But I'm going to tell you, you see the Lord of Bad Mind thing you keep up on this program is why the people turn your way. Have a good night.
Have a good night, my dear brother. That is what Straight Talk is all about. Or this well-known caller can testify to that as well. Even when they criticize this host, their rights and their freedom are also guaranteed by Straight Talk family. Caller, you live.
Patches, good night.
Good night, my
It's
dear.
Nano.
How are you, my
How
dear?
are me? I'm very, 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 very disappointed in this show here. But let me say what I got to say.
Got you later.
Anne, don't run me because I was running the rest of them. Anne.
Thank you very much. I think we got you.
Thank you very much.
We
Thank
got
you very much.
We
You disappoint me tonight.
But that's your view anyway. You're entitled to your view. And that's what Straight Talk is all about. Yes, my Straight Talk family, that's what Straight Talk is all about. So I'm sorry to disappoint my family. But on this program, truth and facts will be promoted. The truth hurts is an old but very true saying. And it's the reason why some may not listen to Straight Talk. When people do not like the truth, they become divisive. And with division comes lies and evil tendencies, which equates to the work of the devil. And that's a quote from MS 2000. But let us be guided by the words written in the Gospel of St. John, which instruct the disciples of Jesus and reads, and I quote, from the King James Version, "If you continue in my word, you are truly my disciples." Or the New International Version, "If you hold my teaching, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." My Straight Dog family. Having clarified the foregoing, I will continue to talk the truth and truth be told on this the 37th year of our independence, I will be surprised to believe that anyone in their right mind can question the progress that we have made as a government, and by extension as a federation, in the area of infrastructure development. This is what we inherited from the Douglas Labour Party as a synopsis of where we were as a country way back in 2013, my Straight Talk family.
We face so many challenges in this country. You have our road safety problems. We have a situation which is of imminent danger, Old Road Bay. There are two sections that need urgent attention. And those are the sections where the hill protrudes directly over the road. And you have stones protruding that as large as some vehicles. If they drop down there anytime, you're going to have scores of people dying. And you have a situation where you have this administration in for so many years. The priorities went into projects that wasted hundreds of millions of dollars, like La Valley. And you have Old Road Bay over there that you need to address because that is very dangerous.
Very dangerous, my Straight Talk family. And could you imagine Douglas saying that the Old Road Bay project will not yield benefits to the people? Yes, he said it. I never fabricate. I always bring you the facts.
These projects are not doing much good for the people. For example, the Old Road Bay project, will it yield any benefit to our people? $31.8 million, Mr.
Imagine that, the heartless Douglas, and you remember people died across that road. But we heeded the advice of the ordinary man and woman and have resurfaced the Island Main Road, built resilience across Old Road Bay, installed traffic lights, constructed the East and West Bus Line terminals, all from revenue. We have resurfaced the runway. We have installed brand new runway lighting and rehabilitated all the taxiways, Alpha, Charlie, and Bravo at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport. We also constructed the second cruise pier, costing $130 million, my Straight Talk family, from local resources as well.
We were able in our last dispensation to finance the second cruise pier, an engine of future development, entirely from domestic resources. This is significant because it not only gives us the resource, but ownership of the resource, and thus the profits stay within the borders of our country, thereby creating wealth. A much-needed departure from the old way of waiting for foreign investment, which may create some jobs, but does not create wealth for the majority of our people at the level and rate we expect. It is exactly this kind of innovation and self-reliance that must become the hallmark of our people and leadership.
I will be surprised as well to believe that anyone in their right mind can question the progress that we have made as a government and by extension as a federation in the area of fiscal prudence. Our country continues to punch above its weight and stands tall above its peers, in particular in the OECS region, my Straight Talk family.
As a nation, we have the lowest debt to GDP ratio in the OECS. We were the first to outdo the debt to GDP target of 60% by 2030 set by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. We have the highest reserves and the best fiscal outcome in the region. Our per capita income remains the highest in the OECS and the highest among our peers in the hemisphere, excluding the USA, Canada, and Mexico. We rank high on the United Nations Quality of Life Index. Indeed, we are among the top performers in the sub-region, and we tower above many larger and older independent states in the wider hemisphere.
And I will be surprised as well to believe that anyone in their right mind can question the progress that we have made as a government and by extension as a federation in the area of safety and security. There is no more weeping, no more wailing and violence. As on a team unity, we have seen the restoration of law and order in our beloved federation, my Straight Dog family.
We have seen an initiative geared towards the safety and security of our nation take root, resulting in a dramatic reduction in homicides and violent crimes across the nation. The weeping and wailing of mothers and children whose sons and fathers were lost to gun violence have subsided, thanks to our peace initiative and its alternative lifestyle pathway. We will continue to reform it, to consolidate the gains in law and order, peace, public safety, and security.
Country have seen a virtual cessation to the seeds of violence that were planted in the Denzel Douglas era. I will be surprised to believe as well that anyone in their right mind can question the progress that we have made as a government and by extension as a federation in the protection of our country in the fight against this deadly virus, COVID-19. It is a challenge we must continue to face, my Straight Talk family, and we will face that challenge. I'm sure we will.
We are living in changing times, and there are things that we cannot control. There is the uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic and this new normal in which we must now live and adjust. What we can and must resolve to always control is our prudent response to whatever may come. We must meet every challenge as a people in unity with the strength and resilience of our forebears, married with our resourcefulness and the ingenuity of our youth. We will face whatever comes with that shared responsibility which has always seen us through.
But if you do question the progress, my Straight Dog family, like I said, that's your right, and you have the freedom to, then that is your fundamental right, and Straight Talk will not impede the enjoyment of your freedom of expression, which includes freedom to hold opinions without interference, freedom to receive ideas and information without interference, freedom to communicate ideas and information without interference, my Straight Dog family, and freedom from interference with such a communication. So let's just have a discussion tonight. Let us have a simple conversation about important social, political, economic, religious, and any other issue you may wish to advance. You may wish to advance issues of your own, ask questions, make comments. But what about development in other areas? For example, what would you as a citizen or resident of St. Kitts and Nevis like to see more focus being placed upon as we continue to build resilience, create innovation, and guarantee security for Independence 2020 and beyond? My Straight Talk family, I'm going to open the lines and entertain your calls, entertain your emails. But I always like to implore you before I do so, which I'll do in a couple of seconds, I implore you to respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let's just try to be fair to all concerned. Let's just try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let's just ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And let's ensure as well that the things we say and or do, in the process, we will strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With 28 minutes before the 9 o'clock hour, we go straight to the lines and say, caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
The Honorable Patrick Liburd, good night. This is Sugar.
Good night. Sugar from West on the farm.
Yeah.
How about thou, sir?
I'm good. Let me say congratulations to the Team Unity government and the government over in Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. And happy Independence. And up by the Heroes Park, them workers up there, they're doing a wonderful job. Beautiful landscaping. Up there look like South Beach, Miami. Beautiful place. They're really working. And you care sometime?
The judge,
Hello?
the judge, yes, the judge will give his judgment on Friday, so.
So, pray before you go.
Yes, I pray every day.
Yeah.
Whether there's a case or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me put it in peace. What the Christian them do when them pray, them bow. What the dreadlocks call themselves, I and I. Where the sweetest milk come from, mama breast. What the clock in a London named Big Ben, 2 man a love up. You know anything the woman never do? The man never do it too. Let me say let me big up all the girls them who don't pay them bill and the picnic them no hungry. This is Sugar out of West Farm, St. Kitts, West Indies, and I'm putting it down. Good night.
Good night, my dear brother. Sugars, let's go back to the lines. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Patches. This is Dumpling.
Dumpling, happy belated birthday. Greetings
Oh,
to you.
thank you very much. I had a nice day yesterday. I was to go out with somebody because I didn't remember the date. So me and them went somewhere and I enjoyed myself. Patches, I want to pick up my doctor, Dr. Wilkerson, because I understand he gets honor. Is that true?
Yeah, he got the CSM, Companion Staff Merit, I think it's called.
You see, he never keep a good man down. Because he come from a poor home and they just say all kind of things about him. But while I got this mouth here, I can represent my doctor. You understand? That is a call to sergeant. And who you talk to is your friend. You understand? People on the road, they say a lot of things. And when you talk, they want to say, how you the beg, they say you the beg people money in Nevis, but I never beg no minister in Nevis no money at all. Never ever, Patches. So I got my mouth to bang my mouth. Okay. Number 3, Patches. I know you don't go far and everybody don't go and say Dumpling say this. Patches, your case is Friday, right?
Yes,
your case is Friday?
Yes, it continues on Friday, yes.
Okay. People who you're talking to and your friend, they're only showing you good fears. Because they say a lot of bad things behind your back. Certain people I see you with. You understand? And put God first. Because God gonna show you the way. Just like how God come in my sleep and talk to me. You understand? And just what the Lord tell me to do, I am doing. You understand me, Patches? I went down the road with Labour, you know. Labour turned me away. Labour, see me had 2 small children in school. One in Irish Town, one in junior high. And they turned me away. And they could not abuse and say all kind of thing about me or how to. Okay, man, going down the road there right now. The Prime Minister make a good speech on Wednesday. You understand? And who God bless, no man curse. He is a godly man. You see where his name come from? Out of the Bible, Patches. Patches, tonight, me Dumpling here. Where you lead me, I will follow. I go with Patches. Patches, all the way. Unity for life. Patches, I love you. Coming back, you know. I'm coming back. This is Dumpling.
Thank you very much. I love you more, my dear Dumpling. Have yourself a wonderful night as well. We go straight back to the lines at 22 before the what's happening with these lines here? At 22 before 9 o'clock, call you live. Hello, caller.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and Queen and sing out blessed evening, my beloved African brother. How are you and the family? How is scan?
Peaceful, my brother. You and yours?
Good, brother. Good. Weather just getting a little chill, you know, that time of the year, but it's nice, man. No, my beloved brother. Brother, you ask a question. Brother, I would like to see our people, and when I say our people, you know I'm a Pan-Africanist, brother, and I don't talk in no water in my mouth. African people who are at the end of the economic ladder, brother, whether you know come together, cooperators, and that includes myself, brother, even though I'm not there. But I must get peace over my neighbor string berry, brother, and come together and we open up, brother. Whether 5-star hotel, we get to start at one. Mass production in agriculture, beloved brother. Open supermarkets, beloved, and all economic fields of activities in St. Kitts and Nevis, man. Our people, African people, must become multi-millionaires, especially our young people, beloved. Especially our young people. That must happen, man. For what our ancestors fought for hundreds of years. Brother, and this land must remain in our hand, and we must be the main beneficiaries, not what we have now. I mean, it's a little different. Dr. Simmons, the NLP and PAM, you know, they let a head start. I know we know what happened from 1995 to 2015, almost all our lands are going to hands of our oppressors. I mean, I said that with no water in my mouth. But I know this administration did some good things by back. Last count is 400 acres of the land. But we want to see more that, brother. Our people must be the main beneficiaries, man. Economic activities. And that should have done start. I know it's a little start, but we need no mic. We want to go big time, my beloved brother. You know, I know whether I know you only got just maybe a couple, maybe about 30 seconds more. But I know I want to see too, brother. This administration, the people give them a mandate. Promise it's going to be meaningful change. And meaningful change don't come in one thing. There have been some changes yet, brother. No one cannot deny that, brother. But we want to see fundamental changes, man. Okay. When it comes to our constitution, beloved brother. Okay. And again, I don't sound the alarm and beat the African drum. St. Kitts and Nevis, my beloved brother, must become an independent, must become sorry about that, must become.
Okay, got you, my brother.
Beloved brother, a republic by 2023. I know we got to discuss this, beloved.
Yes, my brother. Got
we
you
must discuss this.
Got you loaded.
So, brother, let ideas contended, beloved brother. And brother, let me say, right?
Yeah,
give me 2 more seconds, brother.
Yeah, just 2 seconds, please. Yeah.
I know that you and brother Nital, man, the two talk show hosts who give people, don't care what the carrots is or whatsoever, give them ample time when they're going to bring the radio station in disrepute. You're fear person, you and brother Nital, the two fearless talk show hosts, beloved brother, and Tony too. Brother Tony Nyers, I mean, in the arena.
Yes, my brother. I got you, my brother.
So, brother, let me thank you again, beloved brother, and let all ideas contend. Pan-Africanism and perish. One love, my beloved brother. Continue to listen.
One love, my brother. Thanks for the interventions there, and very sound intervention in terms of what we are looking for. What about development in other areas? For example, what would you, as a citizen or a resident of St. Kitts Nevis, like to see more focus being placed upon as we continue to build resilience, create innovation, and guarantee security for our independence 2020 and beyond? That brother suggested quite a lot, mass production in agriculture, open supermarkets, and then constitutional reform, and the opening of cooperatives. And what do you think, my sweet dog family? Call you live.
Good night to the Honorable Ian Patches, Liburd. Good night.
Mr. Politics, good night, sir. How art thou?
Oh man, I'm here just listening, I ain't get to listen to the opening statement, but I know that you always come with some good topic, and I know that you is a man of the Federation.
Thank you.
Patches, what I would like to see the young people in the Federation challenge the government for lands, to farm. You understand? Government can't just get land and just give young people land and let out land to young people and then have no plan for land. You understand? The young people have got to go in and apply and get these land to farm, get interest in. You understand? But you see who coming in our country and interested into farming. You see the Guyanese them, especially the Guyanese them, most of them now I see doing farming in St. Kitts and Nevis. Our young people like to relax, and it ain't just something from that. I'm agree that government should put something in place to some of these young men and women who out there, especially on this STEP program. Instead of doing those work, some of them on the side back working and just done working only, they could have got some of these land, helping them and the children them to go to school, because this is how parents come up. I never know my mother and my father do nothing else but farm, going farming, work on the estate, had the animal, the milk, they sell milk and all those things. You understand? We got to go back to the basic life. You see this corona, that is whole world going? Patrick, we got to go back to the basic life of living. We cannot continue living how we used to live all the time. We cannot get up a morning time and just, drink, brush your teeth, you're going to go sit down until you're going to penny wood or go smoke a cigarette or go to school or whatever. Patrick, them time back, when we get up at morning time, we don't even have time to brush teeth. We just got to go out with some water, go on a mountain for the morning, go milk cattle. Cattle, got to drop the milk in tongue or wherever the milk got to go, and come back in time to go to school. That's what we have to do.
You think the young people want to go in that direction? No, it's very, very good point. But what do you think?
We got to train them that way, because this COVID teaches a lot of things, This COVID teaches that we got to go back to basic. And that's what I say. Young people supposed to rally the government now and do not let anybody come from over in another country and do it. It's our people. It's our land. This is where we come from. But have a wrong intention, but listen now. But just like in Nigeria.
Okay.
When this man take all the land from the white people them. And give them the land. And then had no materials, then had nothing, then had no cloud and no tractor to do nothing with the land.
Okay.
And the land just like that.
Okay, my brother. Thank you very much. Challenge the young people, or the young people should challenge the government for land and get to farming. That's suggestion coming from Mr. Politics. What about you, my dear caller, in terms of development in other areas? What would you like to see more focus being placed upon?
Okay, I'm coming to you. Good evening, Dr. Ian Patches.
How art thou, my dear brother?
Well, thou just land.
From the volcano.
Yes, I had to go back up there because when I tune it in, I said, this look like another Thursday night and last week Monday. I was wondering if there's any conspiracy against your program. I talking straight with no water in my mouth. Because when I turn on, other stations were on. So I said, no, this look funny. This is what I see. Maybe I'm wrong, but that is the way I see it. Now, the topic, I didn't get it from the start, but according to politics and Nabu. I think it's something to do with development of the country. Well, Patrick, first let me say this here. Since 2005, when the racer said that the crop ain't gonna done, it will only done over his dead body. I said the first thing he should do like how it used to be long ago. Turn some of them cane field into food. And if he had done that, this country here will have been way ahead with food. So no boat will have been bringing food here because we have the land and we got the same food over the planting, so we would have enough here. Well, anyway, that is was, but this you know is. I'm going to show you something. These people here who are coming from China, whether they got citizenship, they buy it, or they married or whatever it is, just like how they could come in here and sell food and compete with our local people, them. They could have come in here and teach us to do things, to build things like what they're building in China. When you go in certain places, you could see something marked, made in China, made in China. Well, what happened here? We could learn too. We can only go in the store to buy, and they're doing a load of foolishness with the supermarket. They have a lot of expired goods in the place that the government office who's supposed to see about price control and all those things, and health department, they had to go in one of them this week here and deal with them, and they take off a whole ton of expiry things on the shelf. But you know what they do? When they go take them off, they put them back on again and put on date and all this kind of thing. So the government had to clamp down on them. Now, if we had our land now with our food here, the people them locally could have their own shop and supermarket selling our food. Just like how them they could get food in here to sell. We could do it. And we ain't reached too far. Thank God we have a man who is interested in the soil. That is Honorable Mr. Alexis Jeffers. I like his enthusiasm with agriculture. See, we have Barefoots up there, Patches. Barefoots up there been wasting for years, and I've been talking about it for years. So let us start with Barefoots along with other Kingfield. Patches, I'll come back and leg another punch. Thank you. I'm glad you come on because I did just going back volcano.
Thank you very much, my Straight Dog family. Yes, my Straight Dog family, in the event you have just joined us, I bid you welcome, you know. And I made the point earlier that we have done well as a country. We have punched above our weight in terms of our fiscal prudence. We have done well in terms of the surpluses and the use of the surpluses. We have done well in terms of law and order and the controlling or the controlling of violence or the virtual cessation to the seeds of violence that were planted. We have managed COVID well, but are there things that we can do better? What do you think, my Straight Up family, is the question I'm asking in terms of development in other areas? For example, what would you as a citizen or resident like to see more focus being placed upon as we continue to build resilience, create innovation, and guarantee our security as a nation? Caller, you're live.
Good evening, Patrick. How are you this evening, sir?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Oh, doing good. Now, what's happening, you got to understand. The thieves and liars and corrupt people on high, they don't want you to stand with the small man and sink its nails. They want to commit their crimes with impunity against the small people of thinkers. And if some of them are so stupid, if they'll understand what's going on, they wouldn't be talking crap like the man who called and tell you, boy, you lose job. That person have no sense. The people don't want it. You got to understand, it's a conspiracy. They'll try to shut you down because you are with the small man. You could have gone along with all the big shut up top years of grammar school days. No, you say, I'm going with the small man because that's where it come from. A lot of the people are like Nazis. I mean, when the election was going on, Patrick, if you see some of the things coming out of that labor mafia bylaw, you're ashamed. You're ashamed as a black. So listen to me, it's not going to happen because these people are Nazis. They're black Nazis. You understand? They're not going to shut you up.
starting with, whether it's Bacchus or whoever. They are not good. These people can be sold a lot to these people. That's not going to happen with you. Okay? Now we're talking about, and a lot of these, some of them are Tamanchi lawyers too. Do not listen to them. God have a special thing here for you, okay? And it's not gonna, they're not going to shut you down. And they're not going to shut us down. No, what I'm saying now, let's talk now, Pat. How long we been hearing about this billion stuff? We have all these people come. Oh, fishers. We're going to have fishers. Where they get these fish? Up in Monkey is where they catching them? Because you can't find no fish on the barrel. All you see is the guy that they catch down in Sandy Point. The long more guy. Ain't too many people eat guy. I don't touch the guy. You see what I'm saying, Patrick? Well, what I'm saying is a conspiracy to shut you up because you give the people a thinking and leave is their freedom. Freedom of speech. They don't understand that's in the Constitution. Freedom of speech. So this thing about giving food and they just have mouth. Oh, people, instead of cursing the Chinese and they try to emulate them. Stop talking about where Chinese come with China. The world is changed. It's one war now. You all have too much mouth. And this is why everybody is going past all you. Now look at the lady down there, your friend. She's a little nutty, but she's funny. I like her, Patches. The one from Bites. I mean, she's at a place, she's begging for, she's asking for some tough building from Matthew's house. Are you kidding me? But she's all right. But she's funny. But what I'm saying, Patrick,
okay, my brother.
What I'm saying, you stood up for us, and they ain't gonna have no food unless they get up and move. They've been talking about fishers and farmers. Where the catching fishers and farmers? I don't see them. They're catching the fishes up in Monkey Hill. Please, give us a break. Stop running your mouth and get to it. Our grandparents did it. Our great-grandparents did it. You could do it. Patrick, may God bless you. You stood up for the small man. They're fighting you, but we're going to be fighting right along with you. Patrick, God bless you. Oh, one last thing, Patrick, quickly. The border's going to be open soon, right? What about that tracking and tracing app? It's easy to download. Don't expect these people, but we can take people private. You will know if somebody who had this thing came close to you. So you guys need to look at it and walk with the flow, and the other ones cancel and get it going, okay? But don't listen to this motor. Patches, I know you're trying to push me out. Have a good evening. May God bless you. Freedom of speech. Live free or die. Have a good one.
Have a good one, my dear brother. Thanks a lot. Always so assertive. Caller, you're live at 5 before 9 o'clock. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening.
My dear brother, the voice of the voiceless, the help of the helpless. My fellow constituent. I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm giving thanks. We say Tendai Maui. I listened to your program last Thursday. And what I gleaned from conversation on a particular subject is that, like the politics that tend to divide us, our human resource, our greatest asset, our people, both young and old. I stand within the threshold. I just turned 60, but I feel good. So I'm like a mediator between that transition and you know where I came from in terms of the younger generation. And it seems like there's a fear, even though majority of the younger generation are fast asleep, as you said, their heads in the sand like the proverbial ostrich. I'm afraid the elders are adamant that they will even go to the grave with their secrets and not wanting to pass the baton. And that is scary to see that they are so ingrained in their ways that they don't want to relinquish it, knowing that the world has changed. And even the youth, the younger generation, hasn't even realized that the world has changed. There has been a global reset, financially and otherwise. It's not going to be the same, and everybody is waiting for the norms. And so like the political divide, there is also a divide within our human, resource, our greatest resource. and it is scary. Now there will be consensus from time to time. And if there were a consensus conducted and the issue at hand was raised by Brother Nabu, I big up Nabu, of certain changes within the Caribbean and what has become. And Captain Jones did make a point about Barbados. Now, just like St. Kitts were known as the Gibraltar of the West Indies because of the great Brimstone Hill, Barbados was also known as Little England in the Caribbean. Now, you want to tell me if Little England has awoken to the point that they are moving away from Big England, what to say for the others who were bestowed with such a name? So eventually, I'm not perturbed. May not be tomorrow, but St. Kitts and Nevis does take that sort of approach, like, let's wait and see what the others do. We can attest to it. We're just celebrating 37 years. We are celebrating 37 years. Yet, I was told that we were colonized in 1626 or 1623. That's a long time. We were even called the mother colony. Why? Because colonization was launched. British colonization and French colonization was launched here. We were like the launching pad. Because you can check the names. There are Gibbons in the Bay Area and there are Gibbons in Barbados. And so on and so on and so on. Mm-hmm. And so those are some of the foundational grounds that I will want to lay on to tell our elders, please, before you depart life, pass the baton, mentally and otherwise, to the youth. Okay. Let's educate them. Let them know that this is their responsibility. And they will do us proud. They will come to our gravesite and lay a wreath whenever we celebrate something, or a fruit by our graveside. Okay. Do not be afraid of the future. Pass the baton, or else you owe it to your children and grandchildren, and they're not going to speak kindly of you. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for your input, my dear brother. Yes, saying the elders ought not to be so territorial. Pass on to the younger generation. Caller, you're live.
Good evening.
Good evening. You have a...
I turn it down.
Yes, thanks a lot, man.
This is Denise from New York.
Yeah, how about thou, Denise?
I'm good. Can't complain. What I would like to see happening in St. Kitts is like all those old houses in Newtown and Irishtown, see them, cleaned up. Whoever owned them, they come and get them, so young people could try to get the land, build houses, and try to move up. Because St. Kitts, especially in Newtown, that's like the Port Zante there, and we got to take the tour with them around. It's so disheartening how the place look with all these old houses, abandoned houses. You can't walk yourself. You're all over the place. And again, with those Chinese, I'm off everybody making an honest living, but those Chinese don't respect the Kittitians. That's my input, and you have a good night and get home safe.
Thank you very much. Sound input there, my dear Newtown warrior. Yes, you speak to the revitalization of Bastille, and to an extent, this doesn't sound so nice, but yes, we need some of that slum clearance in the Irish Town and Newtown area and other areas as well. And I'm wondering, if I always thought about this, perhaps I should ask you, if we shouldn't really guide the Chinese into a particular area or sector instead of these mom and pop shops. That the Chinese have the mom and pop shops everywhere. Newtown, Irish Town, Keon, all over, Sandy Point. What do you think about that? Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yeah, how are you, man?
I am peaceful, sir. Yourself? You have
pretty good, man.
You have equipment on, or radio device on? Just move away, turn it down.
Yeah, I moved away.
Thank you very much. I want the whole world to hear you, so go right ahead.
Yeah, my gripe is with the land ownership. I like to see the government take control back. If those sugarcane lands, especially in the Simkis end, that was either sold out or given away. I don't know what the full story is, but
well, some land was swapped for
because
that.
of it, because of the need for this agriculture now, I would like to see the government, get back some of those lands for the local people so that they could farm those lands. And I noticed, I grew up in Nevis, right? And I noticed on the Nevis end, most of the estates over there is not really in the control of the government hands, and I don't know why. There's one estate named Calcahoon that's right there by Cotton Ground. Whoever owned those lands there, they're not really doing anything with the lands. And I don't see why they can't at least lease out the property like how it was back in the day, so people can have access to some of those properties to farm, so that they could farm those lands. And that's my contribution for now. Maybe I'll come back.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Yes, the Team Unity Administration, I can inform you that have started the process to reclaim some of the land that was swapped for that, some 1,200 acres of land that was swapped for the humongous debt that was accumulated by the former administration under Douglas. And to date, I think it's some 500 acres have already been recovered in Keon, Otleys, and I believe in Sandy Point. I'll get that right, but I stand to be corrected. Caller, you're alive. Okay, caller, you are alive. Okay, caller, then you are alive, caller. Hello, caller.
Good night, Patches. I hope you enjoy the independence, because I enjoy it.
Yes, my dear. We always enjoy it.
I call in because I want to add some of the politics you talk about. You have 3 young girls. The father, he walked a piece of land over in the Hermitage area for a lot of years. And they used to go with their father. If you see them in tongue, they got in the high heels, the nail long, and they know where they come from, and he saw the father pass, and they're doing the farming the land, and somebody up the agriculture department gone to hinder these young girls. You understand? Man no want farm, but woman want farm. And he said they encourage these young girls, Patches. They're telling them, but if somebody, some special friend, and the land, they will get the land. But these people ain't moving up. So whoever they be, Melvin James know about it. I trying out an appeal to Melvin James to give these citizens this land. Because these women born here, and they must get free opportunity like anybody who come in here and do well in farming. So warning James, and a warning the other man for trying to block these young girls with the fatherland. Patches, we got to be very serious with these kind of semester plots. You understand? Because we want these young people to get involved. I watched Saturday some Guyanese down here with a lot of food selling. Women, the young girls them on the road, because some of them battering down Central, they can't fit in. This is the country. Melvin James and others who deny these young people from getting land, I don't it. Because me jam down and tell I where he say, Patches, we look at something going on over Nevis, and we want to know if the LOC ain't got the authority to tell over there, shut down what's going on over there. They're not going nobody sit down here, In fact, we ain't want that nowhere in the Federation. The Corvette is around, it's deadly, and when you look at this thing, it's very dangerous, I want to know where the leadership gone, and where this young man over there is thinking. But we ain't watching them kind of behavior there, and they're running over there, Come better than that, especially to me, I know in the back, I never in the back. Patches, I will be back.
Very much. Always so passionate, my dear brother. Jam down. Caller, you live at 7 after 9 o'clock. Caller.
Yeah, Patches again. Patches, this is not the Chinese them just come here now. The Chinese them here a long time. And Patches, we the local people them, never supporting the Chinese them. You understand? The Chinese may take up the business and go back somewhere else. You understand? Back in the 80s, you know that how the mom and shop used to support by the local people. You used to go trust your food and pay a weekend time. You cannot find that anymore. You cannot go by the Chinese them go trust. And as far as I concerned, the Chinese them ain't doing no sponsorship for especially our young people under this COVID-19 who will want help. You understand? They need sending some package of food and nothing to them. And is we, the people supporting the Chinese them. And Patches, what took place in Nevis, right? About F-50 division was in that active, in that place, the night. About F-50 division was in there. Is we the people from Sinkit went up there and went on with what they went on with. So I don't blame this and the Nibijan people them. Because I believe that the Nibijan them, they're more sensible people towards this thing, especially this corona now. They're taking measure, they're taking step. You know, we don't hear something like some of these Americans, criticians. They just because somebody is American, they don't care. And we got to come better than that, Patches. We hear so much country out there getting affected every day by this deadly corona. And we still continuing this thing. You got a DJ that's on the radio station every day. Every minute, I'm going over to Nevis weekend. Nevis got all the action. Nevis got this, Nevis got that. They don't want to open down there. They don't want this down here. Nevis got all the action. We going to Nevis. You understand? When the corona take over, I want to hear what they're going to stand up, what they're going to do. Patches again, you have a wonderful night. God bless.
Thank you, my dear brother. Have yourself a wonderful night. And just for information as well, as I said before, we have started, a team unity administration have started to reclaim some of the land, 1,200 acres or more of land that was swapped for the humongous debt that the Douglas administration accumulated. And your administration, the team unity administration, committed that they will reclaim the land. And to date, I believe we have reclaimed just about 400 acres of land in the areas of Lodge, Otley, Keon, Sandy Point, and Lambert. Let's go back to the lines. Caller at 10 after 9, you are live.
Yes, good night. And how art thou?
I am peaceful, my dear. Yourself?
Okay, because I turned you on last Monday, I didn't hear you. And I turned you on Thursday, I didn't hear you, but I said maybe because it was the Independence weekend, that was why I didn't hear in you.
No, we were on last weekend. We were on all last week.
Yeah, I just hear Culture say something about he didn't get you last week, too. But anyway, glad to know you are still alive and you're all right.
Likewise, my dear. Glad to know you are as well.
Yes, I am here still. So everything is all right with you, and I'm glad to hear. And I know the country is still running well.
Yes, it is. And you're staying safe, are you?
Yes, I am. I am staying safe. So I just wanted to hear your voice because, as I tell you, I turned you on last week and I didn't get it. But tonight I turned you on and I get it, so I don't know what happened. But anyway, have a safe night going home. Drive safe. And I will talk to you some other time.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good night.
Have yourself a wonderful night and stay safe, stay healthy as well. In New York, right?
No, I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Got you wrong. But enjoy your night as well. Thanks a lot.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
I will. Bye.
Bye-bye. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you alive.
Yes, good evening, Patches. You callers them this take too long on the radio as we cut off now when they walk, right? And you have come in and cut off them there. What I want to know, right? The road by Gillard gas station, you have a big hole in it, and you want it to fix.
And down here, boys, we partner do the court thing up by Fairview. You ain't got nowhere the water to run out. So I will like them to call public works and we want to come and see we part the water could run out. Because up here full of water. And I want my country and your country to live good.
You had a good independence?
I had no good independence and I get to go nowhere.
Why?
I got people locked down. No activity, no.
Okay.
So that's how I want it to play. And I want to make sure that when these children go to school, you all got good hygienic for them. Because over Nevis, 2 people come in with Corolla, and I am saying that the borders them is closed, but I is still loyal. And have a good night. Safe journey home.
Have a good night, my dear. You know, we passed Labour, we passed PAM, we passed NRP, we passed CCM, and we passed PLP. We have unity, but that is my big Labour friend. Caller, you live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller? One more time. Are you there, caller? Okay, I'm not hearing the caller. Caller, you are live.
Patrice.
Yes, sir.
Good night, Patrice.
Good night, my brother. You
I mean, when we're speaking about the training them a while ago with the supermarket and them, I don't think that, I think when they come here first, they reach out the same the first place they reach in the countryside. I don't think they should have been nowhere in the country. They should have been tongue alone. They should have got a stop on it. Because they're competing with the small shops them. Small shop them from here. Next thing when election come in, you hear they say give some small business, something this and that and that. That shouldn't be. They're competing with the smaller man them in sink it.
But you know,
once you see one go care all the shop, remember Lennox and we already talking about building back up care with shops and so. How much shop used to be there in days gone, we now return growing up. That can't come back again because two training over there right now, in case any small shop in Cairn. Because one in Keys, if we put a training kid, might kill that. You understand? I don't think that should happen at all. Under no government in sink it. Some of them people and explain to them that you come here, we agree with it. We get in angry for what he is. Since in Dr. Ho time. Doctor used to work in Morning Union, Dr. Ho. Long time we training them coming here, you know. But I think they should have got a hole and we probably could go for where they can't go. I don't think you could go in a training and get that work. I don't believe so. So, you know, because when them smaller shop can't get things done, first thing they don't talk about the government. They want to talk about the government. I think when they for the first thing, let them stay in the town. We got some branch off in Bastia. That will for you. When you come to and you go home with it, no problem. But when you're in your village, you're supposed to go walk to your own people then. No one some of them go say ridiculous, but you know how we go sometimes, Patrice. We're not going to press control. We're paying people to do this work. And so, a granddaughter of mine was telling me in Cairn one day that they are training in Cairn. Of Cabbage Hill, you could say. In Cabbage Hill, because one by Miss Grad by your old gas station where it used to be. What? And tell me get something where she boy expire. See, people them supposed to go out as culture. Them say people them supposed to go out and work on these people. All in the states they're doing it. To take something official, they're going to put it back on. Yeah, they're doing a lot of foolishness. They can't be doing these things. A lot of expired things they can't do these things. And in the politician can't do it. You know, all of the people work to do them things there. And then I know what they do. Maybe they want to come by me, but not by them. All right, Patrice.
Okay, my dear brother. Thanks a lot for your intervention. And I'm here pondering though. We speak about the Chinese, but under the Citizenship by Investment program, many of them may have qualified as citizens. I believe most of them. I stand to be corrected. So how do you deal with that? They are in fact citizens of the country. That's something we may want to consider. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Patrice.
So.
I agree with John Paul, you know. They citizens, you know, but the way how they're moving, and want to go in every community and put Chinese shop. I agree with that. We got to control this place. Now you can tell me these small shops can just put out. We can't go China to do that. Patrice, you know that. You know that. I could be a citizen of China. dream to get permission to you to in Beijing. You know that? Man, come on, man. I said that to say this, Patrick. You got to get control. You cannot let these people come and damage. It's that dirty boy Denzel Douglas started, you know. Because he wanted to put the people in place. I used to go, man used to come out the port, come call me, you know. Watch he and the other man from Wallwood, you know. He gone upstairs and the other man gone in the supermarket. When you look, you see two Chinese pushing a thing, it's more like a food gone to the other man's vehicle. This is how the leaders them gonna work on us. We an item in a supermarket, you know. And a warning these man, you know. A warning these man, we an item in a supermarket. Take us down when you're ready. Use it and throw the box in the bin and all is well. They gonna come better than that to us. We deserve it. We cannot let these people come and dominate. I understand the Caribbean people. I will work with that. We cannot go begging and do as we like. And when we seen, they want to do as they like. And when citizens talk to them, Patches, their citizenship take it me, you know. Me real.
Okay.
You understand?
Got you, my dear
And
brother.
the next thing I want to talk about, Patches, is that thing over Nevis there. First, I want to congratulate Abdiel Samuel, Miss Laws, and Cameron Wilkerson for the great job. Because when I understand when these people, the LOC, get on to authorities and the narrows at the other side, they ain't coming up with the information. It look like man want to kill people, you know, with this corona thing, you know. This thing's still around. And we got to kind of some wild youngsters playing down kill. The first outbreak, we gonna see how serious this outbreak is. This thing ain't easy. And I ask myself, you know, how the officials in Nevis could allow we went on over there on Saturday. I mean, people down here killing themselves, got us in line down here, and man got people over there doing as they like. But we ain't gonna work with that. And this debate is healthy because where I see me, I ain't fooling me, may hold it. You understand? May hold it, Patches, and they can't come better than that over in the house. We're not gonna tolerate that. Okay. We want leadership.
Okay, my brother, got you loud.
We don't want them kind of stupidness going on. And only. But Patches, I angry about it, you know. I angry about it because I see clearly, you know, what man dealing it, you know.
Yes.
And
yes,
we don't deal too, you know.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, my dear brother. Got you loud and clear. In the event you've just joined me, my Straight Dog family, we looked at the development thus far under Team Unity. And Team Unity has done well. Team Unity has... in terms of fiscal prudence, Team Unity has the lowest debt to GDP ratio in the entire region. Our infrastructure development is unmatched. The way we handle our health, you know, in terms of the COVID pandemic and what we have done thus far under the management and leadership of the health and medical officials, Dr. Hazel Laws, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, have both been awarded the CSM, I think, the Companion Star of Merit, I think it's called. So too, Abdiel Samuels, who is the NUOC chair, I think he is. We have restored law and order. So I'm asking tonight, what about development in other areas? For example, what would you, as a citizen of or a resident of St. Kitts and Nevis, like to see more focus being placed upon as we continue to build resilience, create innovation, and guarantee security here as an independent country? We've had suggestions, introduce cooperatives, mass production in agriculture, build alliances amongst our own people, business alliances, cooperatives, I think I mentioned that before, constitutional reform, someone suggested. One also suggested we challenge the government for land to farm. And of course, we've revitalized Basseterre and cleared the slums all over, wherever they are. And so far, we have reclaimed lands that were given up for the debt, were swapped for debt on the Douglas. Some 400 acres of land have been reclaimed in the name of the people by the Team Unity Administration in Lodge Otleys, Keon, Sandy Point, and Lambert thus far. Let's go back to the lines at 9:25. Call you live.
Good night. It's me again, Patrick Dennis.
Yeah, but Tony.
Okay. We say I have the Chinese them buy for investment, property investment to get property.
No, sir. I said most of them may be citizens of the country under the Citizenship by Investment program.
Okay, so when you guys don't have a cap to say well we're going to sell this amount of whatever investment and then you cap it.
Well, if
they could just buy and open shops any place they want.
But if you're a citizen, you have a passport, then you have certain rights.
Okay. When they open the shop, so if I come down there and I want to go to the bank and get a loan or whatever, do you guys give them a lesser percentage to open something, or is it the same for the local and the Chinese?
Well, if you have your money, you go to the bank. You as an arrangement with the bank, government can't control the banks.
The government can't control it, but they give them tax break or anything like that?
Well, there's certain incentives for business people, but I'm not saying the Chinese do get it. The point I'm making, I've made, is that under the Citizenship by Investment program, you take part in the program under the real estate option, or there used to be the contribution option, but you become a citizen. You have a passport, a Kittian passport in your hand. So if you have a Kittian passport, how do you deal with it? That's a question we ask. Because you have a pass. If you're not, you're born in St. Kitts, but they have a passport like you and I under the program.
It come a point you have to stop selling these passports, because if you keep selling them, soon you're going to be a place for people who want to come back home to retire.
Well, that's something.
They have to get a cap. They have to put a cap. So maybe 1,000 passports a year or whatever. But they have to have a cap. You just can't sell. When I was growing up, we had a shop in Newtown, and there's no local shop in Newtown you could go except two of them. I mean, no place you could go to get nothing but Chinese. And I don't buy Chinese. Even in New York, I don't buy Chinese. I don't support Chinese.
I got
so
you.
When
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
And then one more thing. You got these callers, they call all the time. You need to, that I said, put on something on the phone, and when 2 minutes up, they just cut them off. Because they're going on and over the same thing, and they're so, screaming and, so you need to have ZAZ look into something for you to put it on the phone, so when a caller calling and 2 minutes is up, just cut them off. Because other people want to get it.
I'm happy to be at variance with you, my dear Denise. I'm not going to cut anybody off. We do have greater and or lesser, and we don't discriminate. And I say so respectfully. But thanks for your input. And we go back to the lines. Caller, you are live. Caller, you live.
Yes, Patrice, thanks for letting me in again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I forget my manners. Good evening, everybody who are in tune with Straight Talk. In the diaspora and at home. Patrice, no. I agree with the lady with when it comes to the Chinese thing. America, they have a cap on the amount of people that they issue green card to per year. Well, I can say this here now. What the Chinese have been doing since they come here is undermining who born here and have a right to make a shop anywhere. That's mom and pops. And they have no right doing it because they got more money than the mom and pops. And they're getting the things cheap from who are back in China. China subsidizing them. So that's why they could undercut. And everybody looking for the most thing that they could get in a cheap way. But cheapness does cause dearness. And I believe that the government, any government who the commander should have tell them, listen, You come in here to do business. Well, you are a board citizen, and we have citizens here by board. And you have to comply with our laws. You can't come in here and drop below them. You cannot. I don't care what passport you got. You got to respect the laws in our country, and we have to look for our people here. Now, this thing, whether in Nevis, Bobby Island, or wherever it is, Patches, I never deal, and I just listen in the radio for news. Now, when down here, when we got Juve Jam in the Christmas time, and people misbehaving in the band, whether fight battle and stone a throw a gun away with it, police have the authority to uphold the law, and the police does go in the band and stop the jamming. So if they say Juve going down to 12 o'clock and the fight start 9:30, police stop it. Now that function, if they say, well then, okay, you are allowed to bring in 1,200 persons, and when they go there, you got in 2,000 hours in there. That was the police duty and responsibility, not the leader of the country. The police them have a duty to do what they have to do, and then the leader will show them that the police are doing their work. Somebody was supposed to be there by the door to check, monitor them to see that they don't overload the people. And Patches, you have a good night. When you're driving or walking, look back, look left, look right, look forward, and look back. Even look underneath you. Don't trust nobody. The heart of Negro is desperately wicked, and a lot of people out there trying all manner of evil, especially after you and Dr. Harris, the Prime Minister. You all got to look out, not trust nobody. Have a safe ride home tonight, Patrick. I'll see you when I see you.
Thank you
Good
very
night
much.
again.
Thank you very much.
Good night, Janet.
Brother, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Very much. And just for information as well, I should have made mention of this tonight, that in constituency number 1, the constituency of East Basseterre, the overall constituency vote to elect an executive will be held on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, remember, at the Tucker Clark Primary School at 7:30. We'll elect a chairperson, a deputy chairperson, secretary, a treasurer, an assistant secretary treasurer, and a PRO. Our current acting chairperson, Karen Sadio, is up for re-election, and a team together with her includes her deputy chairperson, Aretha Fan Mack, secretary Keisha Nolan Osborne, treasurer Chantel Wilkinson, assistant treasurer Al Wali, and PRO Sharis Cornelius. So to all Pam Stalwarts of constituency number 1, including the Joneses, the Cannoniers, the Chumneys, the Liburds, and many others, I implore you, do not be fooled by the doctor or the lawyer about your names not on any list. Come to the Tucker Clark Primary School and you can vote. Disregard the WhatsApp messages being circulated by those supporting the other team. And I want to say to you, my colleagues from constituency number 1, there are some people who are trying to manipulate the elections, the results in the constituency executive elections. I will warn them again that I never did and I never will support the injustice, any injustice being inflicted on constituency number 1. What did not happen in constituency number 5, 4, and or constituency number 2 will not, underline, will not happen in constituency number 1. For now I will say no more except to add that I will always stand with the people of East Basseterre and I shall not be moved. So come to the Tucker Clark Primary School constituents of East Basseterre and exercise your franchise. The team under Karen Sadio and her team, I believe, should continue in terms of the development in East Basseterre. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
When they pick the things up the Chinese shelf, will expire anyway, the government supposed to move them. They're supposed to leave them there for the Chinese and nobody put them back on the shelf. So that is a wrong thing. When you check them and you see the expiry date, you're supposed to put them in Charlie and move them out. Tell them you're going to move them away. Tell them kind of way.
Okay.
Not to say they got them. And the Chinese got so much places in St. Kitts. Okay. And when the small man cannot get there, the small shop people them balling out for money. But the Chinese them don't support us to give any donation or nothing. Okay. And I wonder what about Mr. Roberts? When he was by the funeral and he had get a between. Yes.
We seem to have lost you for a moment, but thanks for your input. At 25, I take that back, at 28, before the 10 o'clock hour, as we are uphill to 10 o'clock, we were discussing, or we looked at the stellar performance of your team in the administration in terms of development, infrastructure development. We built a brand new cruise pier. We financed that cruise pier from local revenue, local input we had, my Straight Dog family. And we are going forward.
We were able in our last dispensation to finance the second cruise pier, an engine of future development entirely from domestic resources. This is significant because it not only gives us the resource, but ownership of the resource, and thus the profits stay within the borders of our country.
Yes, remember that the old administration were going to lease the pier for 30 years. The CASPA would not have owned it. No, said Team Unity. We have kept that pier in St. Kitts, financed by local local businesses here in St. Kitts, local banks. Call it live.
Good move. We don't want any foreign money in our pier.
Right.
To be going with the profits from the pier. Like our scamps. Anyway, good night, Mr. Patches. I hope you had a wonderful weekend.
Oh, yes, my brother. Restful one. Yourself?
Restful. I thought you had beach and Nevis to the jam over there and so on.
Body needs to rest. And
young man like you and so.
The body needs. When the body calls out, you must answer.
Okay. In relation to the Chinese, we are our own worst enemies. The Chinese are only there because we want them there. If we weren't buying from them, they could not be opening shops all over the place. Left to me, if I was the sole purchaser in St. Kitts, they wouldn't have one Chinese shop in St. Kitts because I wouldn't even buy a box of matches from them. But we as Kittitians are the ones supporting them, at the same time bawling out that the local shops not getting any business. We are passing the local shops and going to these foreigners. Yes, citizenship by investment people they might be, but we had these local people all these years, and we are ignoring our own local people in preference for the Chinese.
How do you deal with that, though, caller? I mean,
it needs a total. The community people, the elders in the community need to re-educate our people, because it's crazy. You can't be abusing the people at one time and propping them up, abusing them on one hand and propping them up on the next. It's stupid. Unfortunately, I don't like it at all. We should not even have one Chinese supermarket here. We have enough local supermarkets. Our local supermarkets should be all over the country too. But then people might, because, for example, up in West Bass, they have two supermarkets. They are close to each other, Rams and the Chinese. And the amount of people I see going to Chinese and Rams right there with a big parking lot. And the Chinese have a little parking lot that would go over 5 vehicles or so.
But I don't know if I got the response to the question. Here comes a citizen under the program, however he became a citizen, but has a passport. So how do you deal with that Chinese who is a citizen in terms of it's a difficult question, but I'd like to get your view on it.
Well, we come back to what you always say. You know me and I know you. These shops have been in the community all these years. Stick with them and their families. Mm-hmm. And those are the ones who give back to the families. Mm-hmm. When people want somebody going in the community have a hard time, some of these mom and pop shops, they give you a few dollars here and there to help you out. The Chinese don't give anything to anybody. It's sickening. And you don't know what you're getting. I've heard some stories about products that people get from them. I've known of one particular case, which I won't talk about tonight. I spoke about it on radio already, where the package was saying one thing and the inside had something else. But anyhow, but that's for us to learn. We Kittitians must support Kittitians. No two ways about that. The other thing, about going forward now, we have according to the Prime Minister, I think in one of his speeches mentioned, about 50% of our GDP comes from tourism. That to me is too much, too many eggs in one basket. I believe that we've got to diversify a bit because this COVID-19 virus has taught us that we are too dependent on tourism. We mind it is good, it brings a lot of revenue to the country, but we need to go back to some extent to manufacturing. With a lot of countries in the world moving some of their plants out of China because of the practices of the Chinese at home, Japan, United States, and those people moving factories. We should be out there lobbying to get some of those factories here, and we, in a turn, can supply auto parts, the small bits and pieces to help assemble different pieces of machinery, automobiles, things of the nature. Just like how Howard Server supplied bits and pieces for the ventilators to cure this COVID-19. We can be doing those things. We've got to go out there and lobby just as hard as we lobby to get tourists to come in here, investors to go and invest in hotels and that kind of thing. We have to do the same thing for manufacturing, and it will be a more stable source of income for the country than tourism. Maybe not as great as tourism, but it will be stable. So we have problems, pandemics as we have, country doesn't fall apart as we and other countries of the world have done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sound intervention. We go straight back to the lines at 21 before 10 o'clock. Caller, you live.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Everybody got to fix it for what ails us, even me. Now, if my mind serves me right, whenever you step up for re-election, you have everybody singing your favorite jingle that they're family. But as soon as you're elected in office, everybody can go back to killing themselves and playing crab in the barrel. That don't happen in China because the higher-ups just don't allow it. Don't happen in Japan either, or any of the Koreas, even the free one. Okay? Simply because people value themselves and their country. In St. Kitts Nevis, we claim to have value, but we do not show it out. We don't even like ourselves. And for me having to tell you so, it's because it's true. I've been on the radio here on Choice FM telling you for years ago, if you can't treat your own with respect, how do you expect the rest of the world to treat you? Mosquiticians are bawling now. Why? Because they couldn't go to the bank to get a loan to empower themselves. And yet the government here is telling you that they're empowering their own people. And you got foreigners coming in here and building up 10 times faster than anybody who's from here. What are you really telling us? Have a great night, sir.
Have a great night as well, my dear brother. Let's go back to the lines at 20 before 10 o'clock. Call you live.
I'm a servant, I'm back.
Yes, sir.
It's not, what is happening is not, that's only apply to St. Kitts and Nevis. But yes, we as Kittitians and Nevisians, yes, we do refer to it like that. But it happened all over, whether you're in the United States, and it does not just apply to the Chinese. If the Indians have a certain merchandise, and it happens here, where a certain Indian businessman gets the sale for the weave. It's like a competition between those who sell fake weave here on nails. So we are a sick people wherever we may dwell on the face of the earth. I listened to a video on YouTube. I watched a YouTube in Ghana of all places, the gateway, the point of no return when you pass through those Amino Castle to the New World, where a Chinese investor invested some $500 in a village, and he was elevated as a chief. He got his chief down, something that they broke with tradition. Yes, it seems they would have given chiefdom to persons from the U.S., dark-skinned persons who probably would have traced their lineage back to that Elmina Castle, the gate of no return, and they would have given them chiefdom. That I can understand. But here is it, a person, because of certain investments, and he is carried on the shoulders, like my mancho, where he'll stand on the shoulders, because that is a tradition. But so that was given. So it's not just we in St. Kitts and Nevis. You can check the sequence, the patterns from island to island to island to island, to continents, various continents where we find ourselves. We yet don't get it because we are sick people. And the irony about it, we don't accept that we're sick. And so we just live merrily, but we just stabbing ourselves in the back.
Okay.
There's Judith that used to have a business down on George Street, the Fallopian Tube of Commerce. She was forced to kick out, but yet I still patronize her business. And so we are sick people. How can we get healed? We must recognize that we're sick first before the process to start. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for your input, my dear brother. Let's go back to the lines. That's 15 before 10. Okay, I missed that call. Let's take this call. Caller, you're live.
Good night.
Good night, my dear.
And how are you?
I am peaceful. I am peaceful, cuz. Yourself?
I'm peaceful too. I love your team that you call out tonight with Karen the minute.
Yes, it's a good team, strong team.
Good team, a wonderful team, a strong team, and that's the PAM team.
Yes.
Not the PAMI team. The other team is a PAMI team. They're in the real PAM team. You don't study with them. You do what you have to do for the good people them in East Bastille. A weapon formed against you shall pass, for an evil tongue rise up in judgment against you shall be condemned. I want you to hold to God and change in hands. Go with God wherever you go and stay with Him. He always by your side, leading you, and comforting you. You don't care what nobody say. East Bastille is your constituency. And come Friday, we all gonna be happy. Safe drive home. God bless you.
God bless you as well. Thanks.
Love you too.
Love you more, my dear. Love you more, my dear. Have yourself a wonderful night.
Yes. Tell Karen Sadio we're not supposed to say hello. I know her, you know, I know Karen.
Yes, my dear. Yes,
and I know her auntie too. Okay, then take care. Bye.
Thank you very much for
You're
your
welcome. Bye.
commendation. Thanks for your support. Caller, you are live at 14 before 10.
Yeah, Patches.
So,
you know who this is?
that sounds like the major or the former major. Which
All
one?
right, thankful. Patches are here listening to you. I just get up, so I decided I'm going to hear, listen what you say. And I listening to all kind of people speaking about the Chinese. But this is one thing I want to tell you. Listening, yeah? A wise person listens and take more instruction. You understand? Thankfully, Patches, we do not need to suffer these consequences of these Chinese. I mean, if they ain't pulling the weight or people don't like them, do what to do because they got, sometimes they put the things up to prices, at the top to prices. That you got the thing there this week, $2. When you go back in there, it's $4. I mean, if that is so, and that is our query, let me do something about it, because injustice often suffer political passions. Would you agree with that?
But you just said when you go there, though, so it means you support them.
No, well, I only go there sometime on observation status.
Go to observe. Okay.
Yeah, observation status. All right?
Well, what do you think about the development going on thus far, though, right? The progress we have made,
Well,
and what we can do in other areas, though.
well, you see, we are living here, and we are living in a changing world. Things will always improve, right? Things will always improve, regardless of whoever. Things will always improve. This is a changing world, and everything is on a competitive basis, isn't it?
Certainly. So are there any?
Who pay the best price will get.
So what areas you would like to see more focus being placed upon, though?
For the time being, Patches. For the time being, things is all right. I am not worried. Things is all right. For me, things for me is all right. I mean, I serve a few people who might be suffering and so on, but God will provide. Don't worry. Remember, Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus was this smart man, He was this big tax collector.
Yeah, but,
and then in the end, you know what he did? After he couldn't continue it no more, he gave back the people the money, ain't it?
Okay, so as a career soldier,
yeah,
because I said career soldier because you were in the forces about what 40 years.
Yes, but from a recruit up,
It's 40 years, so.
Yes,
So when you look at law and order now and the defense forces, defense force rather, and the other.
Well, we are doing fine. We are doing fine. Patches, we are doing fine. Patches, we are doing fine. We are doing fine. I won't lie to you. We are doing fine. The soldiers, as I told you fellas, I had one of the best training. I've been to all over, been to Jamaica, been to Guyana, been to Mexico, been to Taiwan, so therefore, and I see things, And we come here. I could remember I went on a Southampton camp by the BMAT. The BMAT is supposed to be the British Marines, right? And them fellas, they were, one or two of them was prejudiced and so on, and I had to put him in his place. Because petitions are brilliant people, And petition people knows what to do. They are soldiers, they are bright people. Don't let nobody, as far as I'm concerned, I will not consider that we are the brightest in the world, but we could defend ourselves. Isn't it?
Yes, and we're doing well, you said.
Okay, take care.
Thanks for your input, Major Jones. We go back to the lines at 10 before 10 o'clock. Caller, you're live.
Good night, Patrick again. This is Sugar.
Good night.
This supermarket in the country is good, because look how the corona business. Everybody don't have to go into town and you could get the same thing out there in the country. Sunny Point, Dallas, Stretcher got everything. Just look up in your arms. And this thing with Nevis. It's the first time I will say something about it. Nevis people then can't have the country look the lockdown. These people are very stupid, They know things are going on down here. Things are going on down here. They know. Good night.
Yes, my dear brother. I go back to the lines. Caller, you live.
Yes, good evening, Patches. How everything?
I am peaceful, my dear brother.
Well, I hear this subject tonight about the Chinese. We still have to thank them and congratulate them for the effort they make to serving us, Right? You can't really go in and looking for handle from them and so on. But at the same time, when we make inconvenient, they're trying to please us. They may do one opening on holidays, opening on Sundays and all kind of things, just to help us. We spend more money. And I agree they don't do nothing for nobody, right? But I can't hit them all that because when you want a cup of coffee or a tin of milk, you could catch them before you catch a local man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So give them a break. Okay? And we have a lot of Chinese born in here. Just now we may get a Chinese Prime Minister. Because down by me down there, they got one of them that tell me he's a Kittian and a Chinese. You understand me? So that's right thing. Apache, I don't want to hold you up. I just call it to tell you, look up for the best for Friday coming, and may the Lord bless you and bless the nation and the federation and everybody, the Prime Minister and the government and everything. And look, let's keep your finger crossed for Friday and look forward for the best.
Thank you, my dear brother. Thanks
Thank
for
you very
your
much.
prayers. We go straight back to the lines at that's 8 before 10 o'clock. Right now. Hello, caller. Are you there,
That is,
my dear brother?
listen here. I had to come out of my house and get you, because where I couldn't get you in your house and in 98, we had to go down to 92. You look like station 6 switch. So you can't get it from 98 point, and so in a different channel I'm getting you because but anyhow, I'm glad that you are on the air, and glad you are holding the same, and no let nobody put you down. And I know you're a big man, and listen here, God put you there for a purpose, and I can tell you something now, Patrick. No weapon that form against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment shall condemn. No, you let nobody turn your death and life in your tongue, Patrick. Death and life in your tongue. You are going to get back your force, God. You understand what I'm saying? And be strong. Friday, go and claim your victory, because it belongs to you. And so, stand fast in the liberty where Christ has made you free, and be not against the yoke of bondage. Because I always tell you, if you are looking after the poor people, God is going to be with you. Read the whole of Psalm 41, and he will tell you. So don't let nobody discourage you. You is a Patrick, you believe in God, God is going to see you through. Good night, Patrick.
Good night, my dear brother. Thanks for the advice. Thanks for the support. Hello, Mr. Liburd. Read this email. I really did not want to write tonight, but I'm very disappointed with the authorities regarding what took place in Nevis over the weekend. It really makes me wonder if I should just sit back and say nothing. On the weekend there was a fete in Nevis called 5 for 1, beg your pardon, and just the name caused me to think and to ask myself if they are crazy. When I found out what they were doing, it made me wonder, where are the authorities? Because you cannot tell me that it was just said that 2 cases of COVID-19 were found in Nevis, and the authorities could not make a better decision than to give permission for such a crazy fete. I wonder if anyone realizes that we are at risk right now. When I saw the crowd at the fete, I wonder if hell broke loose, because it was said that 20% of the attendees were Nevisians and 80% were Kititians. And this frightens me, because when hell breaks loose with results of cases and we have to shut down again, blame it on the authorities. If you saw the amount of persons without masks with no charges, but you are going to charge someone $500 for going into a business place without a mask, this is really double standards, and I feel totally sold out. Thanks for reading this boring email. Reads this email. Patches, good evening. People keep talking about the mom and pop shops, but even without the presence of the Chinese, a lot of these shops have died out. Supermarkets are what have taken over, and I'm afraid that the mom and pop shops will not survive easily. Reads this other email. This email reads, I don't agree for the Chinese to have any one particular area in our federation. That is like ownership. They've been here and they're in different corners. It's good enough for them. I'll be very disturbed here in my beloved country, Chinatown, China Village, etc. Even though they are citizens, they should have a limit on the amount of shops or stores they are allowed to open. They have to get trade licenses, so the government is responsible for looking into those things. Team Unity with the leadership of Dr. Harris is doing a great job. I would like for this term the development of East and Central Bastia. The bayfront will be nice for restaurants and coffee shops. We have a great bayfront that can be developed for a nice boardwalk. Team Unity is visionary. God bless us all with this email. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Hello?
Yes, you're live, sir.
Good night.
Yeah, just turn your radio, your equipment, your device down, please.
Hello?
Yes, sir, you're live.
This ZZ?
Yes, you're live, sir.
Okay, sorry, Patricia Wandover.
Yes, you're on Patch's show, my lord.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Just forget to turn the television.
Concerning talking about the Chinese and we here as people, as black people, we ain't together. The Chinese them is more together. That's why we have to go and shop by them. We as black people, we ain't together because we trying to organize a thing here in Sinkit where people could make a little money to help themselves. And as soon as people get a little payout, they want to jump out because somebody say, oh, that is fraud and that is fraud. We don't know how the Chinese people come together and make the money to open the business. But if you realize the Chinese people is always together. But we black people don't be like that.
I got you, man.
We don't be like that.
Okay, my brother, I got you. Got you loud and clear. So we got to get...
We black people will have to get together and come together and stick with the black people.
Okay.
Work hand in hand. That's how we're supposed to be. Work hand in hand with one another. In unity.
Okay.
That's how we work. That's how we're supposed to be. But we don't do that.
I've got you loud and clear, my brother. And I'll take your point. And thanks for your intervention. Good evening, Patches. In the event you are declared the winner of St. Christopher 1 by the court, which I believe will be the case in the end, can you explain what will happen to the position of Senator Joel Clark? It appears to me that Dr. Douglas, beg your pardon, would no longer be the leader of the opposition, and thus he would not be or should not have been in a position to nominate a senator. Sounds like Governor General will have to revoke her position with this message. Very interesting message, my Straight Dog family. As we wind down tonight's programming, I'll take perhaps 2 more calls. Caller, you are my penultimate caller.
Patches.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
Patches. Good night again.
Good night.
Patches, you know, what used to go on around fish there. You understand? The mommy and pappy, great-grandfather, great-grandmother, they go down the bay, they get small fish. By the time you come from the pool, a lengthy spot knock up for you. But what we see now is that young women who should be able to carry the science from the parents and give it back to the children. You're getting that? They're running in Chinese too. I believe in this belly here, you know, but you gotta look clean. And once you perform in a cooking trade, you must look clean. And we're seeing that around here. He's not seeing that. That's enough for that. Patches, Friday I confident you will be victorious. It's good over evil, my brother. Have a good night. I see the victory.
Thank you, my brother. I see it as well. Caller, I'll make this. Okay, I think I'll make that my final call, my Straight Dog family. As we wind down tonight's programming, we looked at the progress of our Team Unity administration in the area of fiscal prudence. Our lowest debt to GDP ratio in the region. We looked at our infrastructure development, unmatched by any government, whether in St. Kitts and elsewhere. Our performance as in terms of the management of the COVID pandemic, in terms of law and order and the restoration of law and order. And my Straight Talk family, I got your views in terms of the things we should focus on in going forward in this year to continue to build resilience, create innovation, and guarantee security. I can hear you saying you introduce cooperatives, mass production in agriculture, build alliance or build business alliances. You say you want constitutional reform. We need to challenge government for land to farm. We need to revitalize Bastille and elsewhere around St. Kitts, and of course to clear the slums all over St. Kitts. We need to reclaim our lands, and the team unity is just doing that. I've reclaimed already some 400 acres of land in the large Otleys, Keon, Sandy Point, and Lambert's areas. And of course, we need to lobby manufacturers and diversify our economy, and more importantly, to get together in unity. And that's the way we're going to end it, my Straight Talk family. And just to remind again, the constituents of East Bastille, for that constituency election coming up on Wednesday at the Tucker Clark Primary School at 7:30. The overall constituency vote to elect an executive. A chairperson, current acting chairperson Karen Gale Sadio, is up for re-election, and her team includes her deputy chairperson Arita Fan Mack, Secretary Keisha Nolan Osborne, Treasurer Chantel Wilkerson, Assistant Treasurer Al Wali Mohammed, and PRO Sharez Cornelius. My Straight Talk family, our constituency executive elections come up again on Wednesday. Meanwhile, some are trying to manipulate the results, but we won't stand for that. We warn them. We never did, and I never did and never will support injustice in Constituency 1. What happened in Constituency 5, 4, or Constituency number 2 will not happen. What did not happen, I should say, in Constituencies 5, 4, or 2 will not happen in number 1. I will always stand with the people of East Bastille, and I shall not be moved. I feel this team led by Karen Sadio is best placed to continue to shape the future of our constituency. I want to thank Almighty God as I say goodnight for guiding our conversation tonight, and as always, I want to thank you, the many callers. I want to thank the emailers. I want to thank my Facebook massive, and I'll have to take some time out, especially those on Facebook from Newtown in particular, Logan Beach, Flash, and all the others. You know, I forgive me, I started calling, I should not, because I'll leave out quite a lot. I want to thank all those on social media. Remember, you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I am Ian Patches Liburd, and God's will, I will be with you again on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk. Until we connect, then, my Straight Talk family, have yourselves the best of what's left of tonight. Be good to yourself and to all whom you meet. And remember, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve, but you first got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect again on Thursday. Bye-bye.